On the 114th episode of the HatTrick Sports Podcast, we're going to be talking about the college football Week 1 recap. We have the upcoming NFL season. We have some MLB mid-season news and updates. We're going to be ranking the top 5 offensive MLB stats and ending it off with some Hall of Fame. Yay or nay? Make sure you use code HatTrick Sports when checking out at w.gg for 10% off your order. Roll it! Welcome to HatTrick Sports, starring your host, Isaiah Carpenter. Bringing you the biggest sports headlines every week. This is the HatTrick Sports Podcast. All right, we are good and ready to go. We are here filming episode 114. We are going to start it off with a little NCAA college football news. Let's first go over the scores and stuff. There were some upsets. We have some takeaways that we have to talk about. There's a lot to talk about this week in college football. First of all, USF. You are nothing. You beat Boise State. Congratulations. It is week 1. No need to storm the field like that. What other news? Tennessee ended up beating Syracuse. The big game of the week, Ohio State and Texas. Texas having Arch Manning as the QB, first-time starter there against the national champions, and very much a defensive-heavy game. It was a defense-heavy game. Ohio State ended up winning 14-7. We'll talk about Arch Manning in a little bit here, but one thing to take away from this, yes, Ohio State's defense is maybe one of the best in the league. Yes, Arch Manning didn't do so hot, but guess what? It is week 1, and he still has time. Texas is going to go down quite a few. Ohio State is going to be probably 2 or 1, depending on what some other games go on. Georgia ended up beating Marshall 45-7. That was a given. Indiana ended up beating Old Dominion 27-14. Oh, here's an upset. Alabama losing to FSU by 2 touchdowns. Florida State won 31-17 against Alabama, and probably the biggest upset of the week. I'm surprised Tallahassee hasn't burned down yet. It is Sunday morning. It's been probably 12 hours. It's been a little bit more. 15 hours since the game ended. And, I'm shocked I haven't gotten an alert that Tallahassee has burned down. Florida State looked good, to say the least. Florida State looked good, and Alabama did not look good. What other games do we have over here? Penn State obviously beat Nevada. Oklahoma beating Illinois State 35-3. They still have not given up a touchdown yet. Florida won. We all knew that was happening. LSU versus Clemson, and it wasn't Joe Burrow versus Trevor Lawrence. It brought back some nostalgia there that it wasn't Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence, but LSU ended up winning. Joe Burrow ended up winning 17-10. It was a close game. What other? Michigan ended up winning. Ole Miss won. SMU won. Arizona State won. Again, this is tonight at 7:30. Notre Dame versus Miami. We will see who will win that. Maybe it's the Irish. Maybe not. Maybe it is going to be Miami. We shall see tonight. Right now Notre Dame is ranked 6. Miami's 10. That's going to change. Next week, we do have some good matchups as well. Florida State ended up beating Alabama, but I would not be shocked if Florida State ended up losing to East Texas A&M next week. I just think that would be kind of funny and very much like Florida State. After last year, what did they go, 2-10 last year? They were 2-10 at one point. It's gonna get interesting. This football season's gonna get interesting. Let's talk about some takeaways. First one, Arch Manning. Let's be honest, we expected too much from Arch Manning right off the bat. Obviously, he was the backup the last 2 seasons with Quinn Ewers, and then Texas is ranked number 1, and then they're playing the national champions. It's like, come on, like. He's starting. It's his first time really starting. He was the backup for 2 years. His stats didn't look great. 17 for 30 for 170 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 bad interception. But yeah, he was the backup quarterback. Quinn Ewers, he would have been starting if he was better than Quinn Ewers. But next week I believe they play San Jose State, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that. I believe they are playing San Jose State next week. Yeah, they are. But yeah, he's not going to win Heisman, and I think that anybody that isn't what's the word? I don't know what the word is, but whoever doesn't like the media. Let me say it like this: the media made Arch Manning seem like he should have won the Heisman Trophy like last year, and he's coming into this year, and he's the next big thing. Like, no, calm down. He's just starting. He was back for the last couple seasons. Texas was ranked number 1. Ohio State national championship. They only lost by 7. I get it. That's the defense that kind of did that. We are being way too harsh on Arch Manning. He was overhyped before the first game. First start, he didn't look good. Maybe it was some jitters. He's been in the spotlight his whole life. He'll get used to it. He'll get back in the mix of things. Other takeaways from this week. Ohio State's defense. Same game. Ohio State's defense, maybe one of the best in the league. They went 3 scoreless quarters. They did absolutely amazing. Ohio State's defense, maybe the best in the country. Matt Patricia, the new defensive coordinator for Ohio State, he did great. He did absolutely phenomenal. You just got to say that. Ohio State's defense did great. Texas's quarterback didn't, and it was a close game. Both defenses actually did great. Texas's defense actually did good, just not as good as Ohio State's. I mean, they were just on fire. More college football news. Lee Corso. The dude's, how old's Lee Corso? He's got to be at least 90 years old. Corso age. Yeah, he's 90 years old. He's been in college football for the last 72 years, and he has finally retired, but he did so in fashion. And I'm talking literally and figuratively. He wore the tux and everything, but all of his college teams he played for or coached for won on his last Saturday college game day. So Florida State, put this into your mind. Nobody listening to this, I'm not going to say nobody. 99% of people that are listening to this weren't alive, not even college, alive when Lee Corso was playing at Florida State 72 years ago. That is how long he has been with college football. 72 years. He played for Florida State as a quarterback and cornerback in 1953. Oh my goodness, it is 2025, by the way. So yes, Florida State pulled the upset against Alabama. He coached at Florida State, Maryland, Navy, Louisville, Indiana, and Northern Illinois. Florida State ended up winning 31-17. Maryland won 39-7. The Navy won 52-7. Louisville won 51-17. Indiana won 27-14, and Northern Illinois won 19-17. Every single college that he played for or coached for won in his last game. Absolute cinema. I mean, the dude's amazing. He makes miracles happen. This is iconic. Lee Corso is going down as a legend. Put him on Mount Rushmore. But just the way it went out, again, especially Florida State, like nobody thought Florida State was going to beat Alabama. I was laughing when somebody said that last week. But no, they ended up winning. They pulled the upset, and they did it for Lee Corso. Unbelievable. It was wild. But yeah. One second. I was looking at the TikTok live chat. It is wild. That is just crazy. But yeah, Lee Corso, iconic. It's sad that he had to go. I feel bad for Kirk High Street more though. Not more than Lee Corso. Like Lee Corso is obviously getting all the attention, and he's retiring, and good for him. He's 90 years old. He's been in college football for 72 years. But you gotta feel for Kirk. The last 3 decades, he's been side by side with him. So like when watching him kind of doing his final headgear pick, I can only really think about Kirk, and I feel bad for the guy. Like, it's not that I feel bad for him, but it's like, yeah, I could tell that this means the same as, like, it means the same to Kirk as it does to Lee. So yeah, it's sad to see him go, but college game day is on the up and up. It's like I would describe Lee Corso leaving as when you were younger and lost your teeth and stuff, and you remember feeling around with your tongue, you're like, oh, there's not a tooth there. And like, it just felt like something was off and something was missing. That's what it's going to feel like. Pat McAfee's doing a great job with College Game Day for the last few seasons. And I'm excited to see where college football goes. I saw somebody say that they should still do the headgear picks, and I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's a Lee Corso thing. And even if Kirk or McAfee did that, it just wouldn't be the same. And I think that they just stopped the headgear picks. Again, I think that they will, but I heard somebody say that they would like to see somebody else do, and that's just like, no, let's just keep that a Lee Corso thing. Oh, more College Game Day news. We have spent the last 10 minutes talking about college football. That's a HatTrick Sports record, but it's been fun. It's been fun to watch. But College Game Day, you know the kickoff thing where Pat McAfee's like, hey, can you kick a 33-yard extra point in exchange for $50,000? And everybody's like, yeah, kicking's easy. Yeah, well, last year, one second, I have the stats up here. Last year, he gave away $1.15 million, nearly $2 million of his own money to different charities and students and stuff during College Game Day for making field goals. Let me see. Texas A&M got $50,000, Cal got $100,000, Oregon got $100,000, and Georgia got $400,000. That is $650,000 just to the students. Out of all 15 weeks last season, one second. 14, yeah, that's so out of all 14 weeks, there were 4 winners of College Game Day last year. Again, between the donations and the students' loans and all that other stuff, it came out to just short of $2 million. This year, though, in week 1, at Ohio State University, Pat McAfee is already down $250,000. This kid, this sophomore, in a business finance major, right down the middle. It was just beautiful. It was just it just went right down the middle. So Pat McAfee is already down $250,000. I am setting the over/under. One second. I am setting the over/under for 2025. To be $950,000. Over under $950,000 that Pat McAfee has to give out to students. Now, he's already $250,000 deep, so he needs $700,000 in the next 13 weeks. $700,000 divided by 13 equals $53,000 a week. He is going to bump that up. I'm sure some weeks are not going to make it. I feel like the college students have been practicing for this opportunity, and I feel like there's going to be a lot more than what it was, $650,000 last year. My math could be wrong. My math could be wrong about all of this, but from my stuff like that, I think $950,000 as the over/under is valid. So comment below if you think it's going to be over or under $950,000 to the students. That's not counting matching it for charity. That's not that's just straight to the students. And if Kirk kicks in, it all counts just to the students. That's all that matters. The big NFL news of the week: Micah Parsons is no longer a Cowboy. What? I mean, it was wild. Jerry, I don't even know where to start with this. So Micah Parsons, a week before week 1 of the NFL seasons, Jerry Jones is like, yeah, let's give it to our competitor. Let's give it to the Eagles. What? What is going on? Micah Parsons was traded by the Cowboys, or not the Eagles, to the Packers. I don't know why I said Eagles, but 4-time Pro Bowl linebacker Micah Parsons is now a Packer. The Cowboys obviously lost the trade, but they got a 3-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Kenny Clark and 2 first-round draft picks. And Jerry Jones was claiming that this was a win for the Cowboys. He is wrong. I am surprised he has not been assassinated yet, and that the city of Dallas has not burned down, especially after the Luka trade. it's just Dallas is in shambles right now. But Parsons agreed to a 4-year, $188 million contract with the Packers, and that is $120 fully guaranteed, and fully guaranteed at signing, and $136 million in total guarantees. Which will make him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Now, that changes every few months, I feel like, but that's just wild. It's wild that he is not on the Cowboys anymore. He said, one second. Oh, where was the statement? Yeah, he made a whole statement and everything about that. I thought I had it highlighted. I guess not. But, yeah, Micah Parsons is officially on the Packers. Jerry Jones might get assassinated this season. And he retired his mom, which you would think, as somebody that is worth $65 million, you would think that his mom would already be retired. But apparently they've had this conversation before. And what happens is that his mom still wanted to work. Her son's worth $65 million, just is the highest paid non-QB in NFL history, and said that she said, maybe once he signs a new deal, I can retire. Because I told him, if I quit my job, what am I going to do? Which is amazing. I mean, his mom, again, the mom of Micah Parsons, the highest paid non-QB, is still working. Not anymore. But I guess he just had to move from Jerry Jones. That's all that had to happen for his mom to retire. So good for all of them. 4 years, $188 million, highest paid non-QB. And yeah, Cowboys are in shambles. Let's move on. More NFL news. NFL rivalries uniform. I'm not a fan of them. Everybody's like, oh, I love them. It's all photo edited. So the AFC East and the AFC East and the NFC West all got new rivalries uniforms, and I was looking at them. Some of them are cool, but in the pictures, it's all edited. It's edited too much where you can't really see what they actually look like. So I'll pop up the pictures here, but the Cardinals they have like this gold thing, but again, you can see the shadows, the artificial shadows and stuff like that. Like, I want to see what they actually look like. I do kind of like the Cardinals. I think that they're going to look good on the field. And one thing about these jerseys is, like, you're not going to see them up close. You're going to see them from the sky cam cameras and stuff. So it's all about the colors. Like, the small shapes and details doesn't really matter that much when you're actually watching football. So I'm slightly a fan of the Cardinals. I'm a big fan of the Bills. I think when it's snowing and stuff, that the Bills are actually going to look really good. There's not red on them. I like the white and the blue outline. I like it simple, and I think that it's going to look good, especially in the snow. The Rams, I think it looks like a regular jersey. The Rams are actually okay, but where it gets kind of where I don't really like them anymore is the Patriots. Everybody's saying, oh, they love the throwback Patriots stuff. Again, it's going to look old. It's going to look pale. And sure, maybe that's the look that they're going for. It looks stitched and stuff. But it's not going to look good on the field. It's just going to look pale. It's going to look like they're playing in the 60s. The Dolphins are good. But again, I can't say it enough. It's the photo editing. I mean, it has glowing stuff and on the jerseys. Like, that's not what it's going to look like on the field. The Jets, I do like. It's kind of like a military thing. It's the Jets color. It's that, the green, like the military kind of green. I like it. It's simple. It has the numbers kind of pop out. What's next? The 49ers. The 49ers are all right. Again, it's just all photo edited. You don't know what it's actually going to look like on the field. And I think that they did too much with that. They did too much that it actually looks less. The Seahawks ones, I'm not a huge fan of. I mean, from a biased opinion, who likes the Seahawks, I'm not a big fan of them. The tops, I kind of get what they're trying to do with the stripes. Neon, I don't know if it's going to glow or not, because again, the photo effects, that's what really makes me mad. But yeah, that's just, I think they're overrated. The rivalries uniforms are overrated for this season. Maybe they'll do better next season. Maybe I'm wrong, and when it's on the field, it'll look a lot better. Just my opinion. Here you go. Would you believe me if I said that the average NFL player has more than 10 fingers? Because just last week, that happened. So obviously, I did the math. There are 1,696 NFL players. After they cut down to the 53-man roster, 53 times 32 is 1,696. You times that by 10 fingers, except for one guy. The Panthers just signed a linebacker, J.J. Weaver, who has 11 fingers. So that will make the average amount of fingers that an NFL player has 10.0005896 fingers. It's just a wild stat. The NFL, the average NFL player has more than 10 fingers. Now, you might be saying, what about Jason Pierre-Paul? He has 7 fingers and some nubs. Like, I don't know, 7.5 fingers. But he is not signed right now. He has not signed. He is not on a team right now. Therefore, the average NFL player has more than 10 fingers. It's just a wild stat. All right, here's some NFL division winner predictions. We are a week away from week 1 of the NFL, and this is who I think will win every division. So, in the AFC East, I think that the Bills will take it again this year. The Bills are dominant. The Bills might win a Super Bowl this year. Who knows? I've been saying it for the last 3 years. They have yet to win one, but maybe this is their year. And then the Dolphins and Jets will be in between, and then I think the Patriots and Bill Belichick, or not even, it's not Bill Belichick anymore. Patriots are going to be way down there. In the AFC West, you have the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to win. They win every year. The Chiefs are going to win that, and it's not even going to be close. Every other team in that division sucks. AFC North, this is going to be a little close, but I think that the Ravens win. And then between the Browns, Bengals, and Steelers, I think it's going to be pretty close. The Bengals, Joe Burrow, maybe it'll be Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, Browns. But I think that the Browns are going to be better than they have in years past this year. I think that they're actually going to put up a team in a fight this year. And then in the AFC South, I think that the Texans end up winning, even though this is probably going to be the closest division between the Colts and Jags. I think that the Jags could take second place, and the Colts could take third. They can intertwine. And maybe the Colts or Jags upset the Texans and win the division. I do think that the Titans end up fourth in that division. In the NFC East, I think that the Eagles win. The Eagles won the Super Bowl last year, and they're in a division that sucks. They're in a division that their owner is their GM and gave up their best player to the Packers. So that's an easy win. And then there's the Giants in that division, and then there's the Commanders in that division. So the Eagles are obviously going to win the NFC East. And the NFC West, from a non-biased perspective, the Seahawks are going to win the NFC West. Last season, the Seahawks only lost the division by a game to the Rams. And, they have Cooper Kupp now and Sam Darnold. And I think that they could do something. I think that the chemistry is going to be there. They signed early in the offseason. I think that the guys have kind of gotten together. And I think that they're going to put up a good team this year. Maybe I think that the Cardinals end up getting last. Yeah, Seahawks are first. Seahawks are first in the NFC West. It's going to happen. And then in the NFC North, the Vikings had a really, really good first 11 games of the season or whatever last year. They won like the first, weren't they the last team? They won like the first 8 games or something last year, maybe 11. But I think the Vikings won the NFC North, and then it goes Lions, Bears, then Packers. I think that's fair. And then finally in the NFC South, the Bucs. I think that the Bucs win the NFC South. This is going to be the worst division in the NFL this year. I think that the Bucs end up winning. The Panthers are going to suck. The Saints they're all going to suck, but the Bucs are going to end up winning that division. The NFC South is what the NFC East was 5 years ago. That's what I'm going to say. Here we go. We are going to be ranking. Oh, let me move that over here. 1 second. Yeah, here we go. We are going to be ranking the top 5 offensive MLB stats. So obviously this isn't a big debate, but it's a debate that should be happening among the baseball community. What is the most important stat in a player? Now, obviously, this differs from pitching, defensively, offensively. This is strictly offensively. That includes base running, hitting, slugging, all of that. At number 5, you have a home run. Now, the home run, you might be saying, some people that don't watch a lot of baseball might be saying, oh, that's the most important. Some people that watch a whole bunch of baseball might be saying, oh, that's down the list even more. No, a home run is a guaranteed at least one run. So that deserves a top 5 spot. Home runs at number 5. At number 4 is batting average. Again, not the most important stat, but it's you get on base. When you get on base, that is how you score runs. So batting average is at number 4. At number 3, you have on-base percentage. On-base percentage is so much more important than batting average, in my opinion at least. On-base percentage is guaranteed on base, and that includes walks and stuff, which is a quality at bat. If you are on base and you get walked and that doesn't go towards your batting average, that is better than your batting average. An on-base percentage is better than your batting average. And then an on-base percentage plus slugging, OPS, is better than an on-base percentage because now you're adding slugging. Now you're adding the power that guys have. Doubles and triples count more. Home runs, obviously. And then the number 1, the best offensive MLB stat is wins above replacement. If you're going to get replaced, you have a stat that everybody kind of does differently, but overall, it is the most important stat, offensive stat in the MLB, because guess what? Hey, if you're on the line of like, hey, can somebody replace you? That is the stat that you are looking at. So that is that number 1. That is your top 5 offensive MLB stats. All right, more MLB news. There actually isn't a whole lot of MLB news this week, except for the fact that Kyle Schwarber, Cal Raleigh, Aaron Judge, and Shohei Ohtani are all in the race for MVPs, and only 2 can get handed out, one in the AL and one in the NL. Shohei Ohtani does have an ERA, though. So it is Shohei Ohtani versus Kyle Schwarber, even though Kyle Schwarber has 49 home runs, had a 4-home-run game the other day. Kyle Schwarber is going to be in that running against Shohei Ohtani. Now, he won't win, but he is in the running. Cal Raleigh and Aaron Judge are in an even tighter MVP race right now because Cal Raleigh's just been on fire hitting home runs. He's just hitting home runs left and right. He's a switch hitter. He's a catcher. But Aaron Judge beats him in every other stat. Wins above replacement, hits, plate appearances, literally a batting average, on-base percentage, slugging, OPS, OPS plus. Aaron Judge beats Cal Raleigh in all of those except for home runs. But Aaron Judge is in a slump. But does a slump define a whole season? No. So right now, I'm going to have Aaron Judge winning that. But the more and more I see Cal Raleigh, and I'm a bigger fan of Cal Raleigh than I am of Aaron Judge. But I will say, I think Aaron Judge deserves that MVP more than Cal Raleigh as of right now. Again, we still have a month left in baseball, and that can all change. Now, in the NL, Shohei Ohtani has a higher wins above replacement than Kyle Schwarber. The only thing that Kyle Schwarber beat Shohei Ohtani at is home runs. And he's a power hitter. He hits home runs. Shohei Ohtani offensively has been in a very slight slump. And I say very slight slump as in he hits a home run every 3 games and he doesn't have a very high on-base percentage right now. But what cancels that out is that he has an ERA. Shohei Ohtani's ERA compared to Kyle Schwarber is infinitely better. There's just no comparing the pitching aspects to Kyle Schwarber. But then Kyle Schwarber has the defensive abilities, which isn't there. So Shohei Ohtani should win, and Aaron Judge should win again. Now, everybody's hating on that. Shohei shouldn't win his 4th MVP. Aaron Judge shouldn't win his 30th MVP. Whatever. That's who they are. The best they are the best players of the season in each of their leagues. They should win. Cal Raleigh, sure, he's good, up and coming. Maybe next season, maybe this season. Again, like I said, we still have a month. Kyle Schwarber, maybe he hits 80 home runs next year and beats Shohei out. But right now, Shohei Ohtani is better than Schwarber. Aaron Judge is better than Raleigh, and you can't change my minds. But that is going to do it for the 114th episode of the HatTrick Sports Podcast. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, your Amazon Alexa, YouTube for all the visuals. Go to shop@HatTrickSports.com to get all of your merch. Use code FIRST20 for FIRST25 for 25% off. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere you see us. And we will see you guys next week for episode 114.